Hi guys, it's Mrs. Perno and I am here to go over the results of the test. I do feel that there are some students who are not going on Google Classroom and reading directions that I post. Every post is important. You need to read directions. Some of you had tabs open when you took the test. Some of you didn't send me pictures. You have to go and you have to read directions. And if you want questions answered quickly during class time is when I'm by the computer the fastest, and I will get back to you ASAP. I did notice some grades were lower than they normally are. So this is showing me that some students are not doing the work that I am assigning, and some students are not studying as if this was a test that would be given in class. And also some students are taking unlimited amount of time to take this. Whenever I give you an assessment from now on, I'm going to give you a time limit. That time limit, you set a timer, and if you are not done at that time, then I would have taken it away from you in class. So you have to have time management. All right, so we're going to start with question 2. Question 2, when the river empties into the ocean, it forms a delta. So as you get further away from the delta, particles are going to get smaller. So as distance from the delta increases, particle size would decrease, showing you an indirect relationship. Question 4, less than half of you got it correct, which shows me we went over what a watershed was in class, and there were a lot of you who were absent during that class. So those who were absent didn't go back and do the work you were supposed to do. So a watershed is defined as any water in an area that eventually drains into a river. So they're showing you that the Esopus Creek is a watershed because it drains into the Hudson River. And tributary was a word from that lesson right before we went to homeschooling. Right. Next question, 14. Again, a watershed question, showing me that many of you, again, didn't do that page and learning your definitions of rivers and parts of rivers. So this is showing you all of the river that's draining into the Mississippi River, basically west of the Appalachian Mountains and east of the Rockies, which are watersheds for the Mississippi River. Twenty-two. So the composition of sediments on the Earth's surface usually is quite different from the composition of the underlying bedrock. This observation, Justin asked the same question during our review session. And I said bedrock can't move. So if the soil above the bedrock is different from the underlying bedrock, then it had to be transported. And most of New York State soil is transported by a glacier. '28. Question 28, here we go. Okay, so a lot of you got glacier questions wrong, which is showing me again that you didn't watch my videos on my definitions and my explanations. Maybe you didn't do the castle learning. You rushed through it. Maybe you had the video open, but you really weren't actively learning. So when you watch a video, you need to be actively learning, taking notes as you go, listening in a quiet place with no distractions or minimal distractions. So X to Y is a moraine. Okay, it's showing you that it came from a glacier. So glacier sediment would be unsorted, deposited by a glacier. Question 31. Why do we have meanders on the floodplain rather than up in the mountain? It all has to do with slope. The upper mountains have a steep slope, floodplain, gentle slope, time for rivers to erode. Question 32. Reference table question. Some of you got fancy. The answer was just pebbles. If you said large pebbles, that is true. If you said any other type of pebbles, then that was false. Question 33. A lot of you are doing fine, but I shouldn't say a lot of you. Some of you still don't understand that rate is speed. So if the particle is more dense, it will settle faster. So that is a direct relationship. Exactly what we did in our investigation packet. 34. Now I can't draw on here because I don't have Cami open, but you would make A deeper and then B would be shallower. So remember in class I said that you have to show the grader that you know what you're talking about, so you need to make A deeper. I believe one of you, and I think it was Emmett, your answer didn't show that it was deeper at A. So I didn't have enough evidence. 35. One piece of evidence to show the direction the glacier moved. A lot of you said moraines. Unfortunately, though, if you're here, you don't know which way that the glacier moved from the north to the south. So if all this ice was melted and all you saw was moraines, it would be very hard to tell the direction. The question also said evidence found on the exposed bedrock. So the answer that I was looking for were scratches, parallel scratches in the bedrock, or someone said striations. Kudos to whoever used that. And maybe it was Cynthia. I forget. It was towards the end of the alphabet that I know when I was grading. Also, drumlins would be on the exposed bedrock. They wouldn't be carved into the exposed bedrock, but I gave credit for drumlins. Okay, and if you got this question wrong, again, it's showing me you do not know the difference between glacier sediment and river sediment. Glacier sediment is unsorted in the moraines, and outwash plains would be sorted. So you also had to talk about both the moraines and the outwash plains. So this concludes, but I also want to do a little talking here. The only one who can hold yourself accountable in this distance learning is you, yourself. So you really need to ask yourself, am I devoting enough time for earth science, for math, for the classes that you have to do? Do I have myself set up in a place with minimal distractions? Can I focus? Can I do my work? Am I doing my work? Do I just have the videos playing just to hear Mrs. Perno's voice? Or am I actively learning, taking notes, writing down stuff, writing stuff to ask questions? People ask me questions, I respond back right away. Or during lunch, after lunch, I do that. So, and the best time to get a response from me is during class time. So, any other questions, we will have a Google Meet at 10:30 on Friday, and that is it. So, please check over your answers. If you got anything wrong on part 2, I wrote you all your own messages, and that is it.